There's a new CD out that absolutely says Wisconsin. It is called Pint Size Polkas, and with us today is musician Mike Schneider, a polka musician from Milwaukee. We want to thank you. You actually were here on one of the radio shows this morning with John and Tammy. So
I was. We had a lot of fun
in town, and it's great that you're able to stick around and stop in the studio here. So we want to talk a little bit about polka music. This is something you've been interested in for a long time, and a lot of people here are familiar with, but pretty limited selection probably. I mean, there's the chicken dance and the
which is on the CD.
But polka really, there's a lot to it. There's a lot of history there. And you picked this up when you were a child.
That's right. I was just 5 years old, and I went to hear Frankie Yankovic with my parents for the first time, or I should say my parents took me to hear Frankie Yankovic, and it caught me from that moment. And obviously I'm still playing today, and now I've made a CD that is speaking to the same age group that I was in when I first fell in love with polka music.
What is the reaction that you get from kids? You've had some pretty great gigs with your accordion.
Indeed. We've played the Food Network. Now, the children's thing is a little newer, but we've had great reaction, really. A lot of the people that we've played it for, really from newborn. Our son is 4 months old, and we can tell, he lights up when we play it for him. And even other people's newborns that have had no exposure to polka music themselves, their kids love it. And then as old as 7 years old, it's really been nice to see the reaction.
And why did you decide to do a kids CD?
It was my wife's idea. And when I heard it, it knocked me off my feet. I thought, because I've played many festivals, especially in the Milwaukee area, and I noticed all the parents that would bring their little kids in, and they'd hop up and down to the music, and they loved it. But I never made the connection that, gee, maybe I should do a polka music CD, because it was always obvious to me that kids love polka music. But it took my wife Heather to say, hey, you should do a children's polka album.
So that came out just a short while ago, right?
It came out in October. Yeah.
All right. And the reaction so far?
Very good. Very good. We've had a lot of orders, and just hoping to keep things rolling along.
Fantastic. Well, I know polka's been alive and well in this area for a long time, but it's wonderful to see someone carrying on that tradition. And actually, I want to just have you take the show out into break here if you'll play us a song.
Oh, we'll do that. You bet. And if I could mention my website,
yes.
pintsizepolkas.com. You can get it there, or at Barnes & Noble West or Bean Sprouts.
There we go. We've got a link to your website actually on our web channel, NBC15.com. But Mike, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you, Carleen. Thank you.
Look forward to hearing a song.
All right, here we go.
A-B-C-D-E-F-G-H-I-J-K-L-M-N-O-P. You can learn the alphabet so easily when you do the alphabet polka. Q-R-S-N-T-U-V-W-X and all the way to Z. Now you know the letters, sing